video, we're going to review some common misuses of statistics. Right. The first graph that we have here is actually, it's a great graph. This is from moneycnn.com, and you can look it up. I highly recommend checking it out. It's very nice. If this graph were given, both of these both these lines together, this is a great graph, because what we see here is on the left hand side we have the minimum wage in the United States, and on the x-axis we have the years. Okay, so you can see how if you were to only have this bottom graph, right, that would be potentially misleading, because what you see is minimum wage has gone up like crazy since 1940 to 2015. Minimum wage has increased significantly if you were only observing the unadjusted wage, right? But if we were to adjust for inflation, meaning we were to basically use some sort of inflation calculator to calculate what money back in 1940 would be if it were the same money that we use here in 2015, you see that minimum wage, yes, there is, since 1940, looks like there's been some incline from maybe $4 to now it looks like it's somewhere around $7. So yeah, there's been some incline, but it's not from $0 to $7. It's not a $7 incline, which is what you would think if someone were to present to you only the unadjusted wage graph. Okay, so this is a very common misuse of statistics, where you basically you could if someone wanted to make the argument that minimum wage has increased like crazy, you just could manipulate the data or give an unadjusted wage type of data, which is kind of a manipulation of the truth, right? All right. Another example, this is a bar graph that was given in Fox News, and this is not to, I do not want to be calling out Fox News for anything, but Fox News does a lot of great stories and a lot of very, very good graphs. This is coming from a blog that kind of calls out Fox News, but you can look up their blog. You could just as easily call out any news organization for doing this type of graph. So what you see here is they're talking about Bush tax cuts expiring and what's going to happen to the top tax rate. And they're saying it's going to go from 35% to 39.6%. And they're saying it's going to be a huge jump, right? That's what you see when you see this jump here. Now, the reason that this is misleading is because the graph starts at 34%. Right, that's why that difference looks so big, right? If you were to do any graph and start the smaller one really close down to the x-axis, then the larger one's always going to look much bigger. To show you what the graph looks like if you were to graph it with an appropriate axis, you see, it actually doesn't look like that big of a difference as Fox News was trying to point out that it was. Okay, so starting bar graphs at 0 is a very common way to kind of mislead, viewers of graphs. Right. Another way that statistics can be misused is when people try to they try to make causal statements based off of correlation results. Right? So for example, increasing the sales of coats also increases hot cocoa sales. Increasing the sale of coats also corresponds to increasing hot cocoa sales. Every year you have more coats being sold and more hot cocoa being sold, And when less coats are being sold, the less hot cocoa is being sold. So does an increase in sales of coats cause an increase in hot cocoa? Well, I don't think so. I don't think it causes, right? They just happen to happen at the same time of the year, right? Winter. So no, it doesn't cause an increase in hot cocoa sales. Rather, they are just correlated with each other. Increase in sales of coats is correlated with an increase in hot cocoa sales. And you'll see this, often, in lots of, very valid research. People will try to make these claims of causation, when in reality they just have observed some sort of correlation.